Alright, so what's up everyone, now welcome back to the channel. Now today we are playing Black Ops Cold War, which is kind of weird actually, because I haven't uploaded this game in a while now. So if you were around the channel yesterday, you'll notice that I did do a live stream on the Season 2 of Cold War, and it didn't really go well, because my FPS on Cold War was broken. Warzone didn't really go to plan because, you know, standard BR can be a bit aged sometimes. And obviously I couldn't play the Outbreak mode because, like I said, Cold War had this FPS glitch where it was running at like 20 or 30 FPS and it was pretty much unplayable. So yeah, that didn't really go well, but this is the next day and it's actually been fixed, which is great. So as you can tell by the video's title, we're going to be checking out the new FARA 83, which is the brand new assault rifle. If you go over here, as you can tell, I've got it level 39. I don't have it fully maxed out. I don't know what the best attachments are on it, to be honest, but today we're going to be checking it out and we're going to be seeing how we can do with it. So here is the class setup that I'm using on the FARA 83, and the first thing is the red dot, mill-stop reflex, mainly because the iron sight's kind of shit. I'm not going to lie, the iron sights are pretty aids on this gun, so we need this. Next up, we have a 4 grip to go with some horizontal recoil, because it does have quite a bit of that, to be honest. Next up, we have the 40 round speed mag. This gun definitely does need more ammo because it only has 30 and has quite a high fire rate. And also, the reload on it is really slow, so you need that boosted reload speed on it. I would go for 50, but one, as you said, I don't have it, obviously. But also, I think I'd probably stick with 40 anyway, because it does 5% less ADS speed on the 40 round. So, having ADS speed is quite important. Speaking of, we have the Spetsnaz field grip here, and the reason is, once again, ADS time. I would go for Serpent, like I would actually use that, but I don't have it unlocked yet, unfortunately. So this can sort of negate the ADS time reduction on the mag. And finally, we have the wire stock for sprint to fire time, because we do lose some with this grip, so we will get some of that back. And this is a pretty good build, I would say, in my opinion. Like I said, I don't have it fully maxed out. I don't have it. I don't have tons of experience with it, but I would say that it's a solid build with, you know, what I have to work with anyway. All eyes on me. Fucking hell, talk about narcissism. Now, this gun is, I would say, mainly built for short to medium range. I'd say medium range more than short, to be honest. It has a pretty high fire rate, and, you know, you would think with that it's meant for close range, but I don't think it can even compete with things like the MP5 or maybe even the FFAR. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think this gun is good. I would say it's a solid gun, but I'd probably leave it at that. I wouldn't say it's any better than good. I don't honestly see any reason to take this over an MP5 or an AK-74U. And also, if you want to go for like medium to long range, you might as well use like an AK-47 or something like that. So I don't really know what place this thing has, really. I don't know. I mean, I might be wrong on this. This is just my first impressions. From using it, it doesn't really feel like a game changer, to be honest. But then again, I could see this definitely being widely used in multiplayer because it has a high fire rate. You can compete with it at like medium odd range. It's a very universal weapon, I would say, and I think that's kind of its selling point, is that you can compete at short range with it. You can compete at medium and, if you're brave enough, long range with it. So although what I said about it I still stand by, I could see this being made part of the meta for multiplayer. Now, what do I think about Warzone? Now, obviously that's kind of a debate with new guns in COD all the time. You know, how's it going to be like in Warzone? Can we just appreciate this gun is in fact backwards in the kill feed? Look at that. That is something else. Mate, Trey, I love you, but how the fuck do you get it backwards? I mean, come on. Now, I have a small amount of experience with this gun in Warzone. I went into one match of Plunder and got, like, I think 7 or 8 kills with it. So, a decent amount of kills, but not, like, tons of experience or anything. And personally, from what I remember anyway, it was pretty good. I don't know if the people I come against were not very good, or maybe the gun actually is pretty sick, but from what I remember using it, it was solid. It was really good. I do think it probably is better in Warzone than Cold War. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not really the stats guy. I've not played this game for like a month or so. I'm returning to this game after a long time not playing it. So I probably am completely wrong about my assumption on it. But the main thing I should say is that I can do well with it, and I do enjoy using it. So if that's anything to go off of, then there you go. However, in Warzone, I have been playing a lot of that recently, so I feel like I have a good grasp on what state the game is in terms of weapon meta, and I would say that this could potentially be a part of it, but I don't really know what role it would fit. Like, close range, you've got things like the Mac-10, you know, MP5, things like that just dominate that range. And I do not see it outgunning them, but at the same time, I don't really see it going beyond that either. Because if you want an assault rifle for range, you go with a Grau or a Kilo or something like that. I don't see why anyone would take this over them. If you want a meta build, that is. I mean, obviously, it's usable. But if you're over a meta class setup, then I don't see any reason whatsoever to take this over a Grau or a FFAR or a Ram 7 or anything that's part of the meta now. I don't really see a point in using this. But like I did say, I don't have tons of experience with this gun. I played one game of Plunder and got a few kills. These are just purely first impressions. I'm not a I'm not like Exclusive Ace or something. I can't, break it down and explain how good it is or how bad it is. But I would say, if you do have it unlocked, I would definitely try and use it in Cold War multiplayer if you do have the MP, obviously if you bought it. I would say it's definitely worth using in multiplayer, and it is a pretty solid gun. It is, pretty good. I would level it up, and if you want to, if you do play Warzone, I would at least try and use it with some, decent attachments on it. Use the gun for a few games, get it leveled up to quite a high level like I have, and just kind of play around with some attachments that you think would work on it. And you might as well just try it. I mean, honestly, there's no harm in just taking it into Warzone and get your first impression off of it. I mean, most people in the COD community these days just wait for YouTubers and stuff to make their opinions before they actually make their own. Which is fair enough, because YouTubers generally, have a good idea of, metas and stuff in games. And obviously something else to talk about as well is the new SMG. Now, I'm planning on making another video on that, so I'll try and refrain from talking about that too much, but honestly, I think that's the main focus of this update is the SMG. That thing, it could rival the Mac-10 in Warzone. I haven't tried it in Warzone, but in multiplayer, it is pretty strong. I'm not gonna lie. So that thing, I'm really excited to get the video out for you guys. So, but yeah, overall, I would say the FARA 83 is a very good gun. I could see it being part of the Cold War multiplayer meta, but like I said, I've not played this game in ages, so I don't really know what it's like. I'd imagine AK-74, AK-47 just dominate this game. And since people in the Cold War community are so focused on using purely the meta, I don't really see people experimenting with it. Especially this game. I feel like this is very meta-based, this game. Most people just love to use the meta and do as well as they can, which, fair enough. I don't really like to do that, but if you do, fair play. I am looking forward to seeing what the big YouTubers like Exclusive Ace and that do have to say about the new guns. I mean, I'm not someone who could actually just use a gun and tell you if it's very good or not. Like I get on, I use it for a bit, and then I'll tell you what I think. But I can't wait for the big YouTubers to actually explain, what the gun setups are, how it fits in the meta, and that kind of stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. I do think this assault rifle would be part of the meta in the multiplayer sides of Cold War, I'm not going to lie. But in the Warzone one, I don't really know. Because the thing is with this gun, it's very versatile. Like, you could use it at close range. There's a high fire rate, high time to kill. At longer range, sort of, but not really. If you can control the recoil, then yes. But that kind of versatility, I think, is pointless in Warzone. I mean, that's why you have two guns. You sort of have one that sort of is the master of the short range to medium range, and then you have one that's built for the longer ranges. Typically, anyway, that's what you have. And having one gun do both roles, there's no real point in it, especially when it's not really a master of either of them. It sort of just does them both really well. But when you have, if you want to use it for closer range, then you might as well use a Mac-10. That's just my assumption anyway. But for multiplayer, you typically only take one gun. I mean, you have a secondary, it's like a pistol or something, but you don't really see people use overkill as much as in Warzone. So I could see it being part of the meta more as opposed in multiplayer, as opposed to Warzone. But take what I say with a grain of salt. I mean, I'm not saying I'm wrong or anything. This is my opinion, and I'm a bit of an idiot, so I might get it wrong, This might be the new meta for the Cold War multiplayer, but I don't really want to make assumptions like that. I think if you're watching this video and you have access to Cold War multiplayer, just try it out, honestly. No harm in trying, I just want to quickly mention as well, why is it every time I post a video there's like civil war in my comment section? Like, come on boys, we can all be friends. Let's see if I can get some kills with the death machine. Guess not. The death machine is very fun, by the way. I've seen some people complaining about how powerful it is. It's a fucking minigun. Like, What? It's a minigun. What do you expect? I love how I was alive as well. I just went AFK in the middle of the map and no one gave a shit. That's brilliant. Honestly, I'm out. Kill confirmed is so fucking boring in this game. I can't do it. Oh my god, man. This game is so weird. So there you have it. There's the FARA 83. In conclusion, I think it's very, very good in Cold War multiplayer. Very solid. Definitely could be part of the new meta. And in Warzone, it's quite good. It's pretty good. But I don't really see it fitting any sort of agenda in that game. I don't really see why you take it over a Mac-10 or a Grau as such. So next up we have the Lc10 Smg. This is going to be the focal point of the guns in the start of Season 2, honestly. This gun is very, very good in multiplayer, and I've heard it could rival the Mac-10 in Warzone, which I'm really looking forward to checking out. But that's going to do it for today's video, so if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, and also subscribe for more Cold War and just Call of Duty content in general coming your way. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.